We are friends united.
We are friends united.
We are friends united.
Together, we are friends united. Gerry and Darren wanted some knives made, and they gave me 1095, just regular knife steel that we all use to carve masks. And we're like, they saw my knives and they're like, "Can you make us some carving knives?" I'm like, "Yes." So I made Darren one. I'm just in the process of making one for Gerry. And I took his 1095 steel. He drew the outline that he wanted, and I took it over and just started grinding it. I think I was done in 3 or 4 hours, something like that.
So you're making knives right now, carving knives for the masks and the totem poles for Gerry and for Darren?
Yep. Whenever they need a blade, they make the handles, and they just give me they have the 1095 bar stock steel,
yes.
and they just trace it out, give it to me, and then I'll grind it out and give it back, and they put the handles on it.
Well, that's truly Friends United. Let me ask you this, talking about Gerry and Darren. I came into the shop the other day and I was talking to Gerry. I said, "What's Eric?" He said, doing? He said, "Eric is helping." And you guys started a totem pole together.
Yes.
You're the apprentice, I guess, and Gerry has done so many. Now you are genius at maths with Gerry. So you're saying, let's start there. And Gerry said you were sweeping floors. I love that, so do I. And you're doing all this basic work starting like an apprentice. It's about basic skills, also about humility, and then also respect for Gerry, of course.
Yes.
So first you go Hollywood acting, then you write scripts, then you make masks, then you make knives, then you go sweep floors, then you are an apprentice for Gerry to do totem poles. I love that. Where do you see that going with Gerry and totem poles?
I don't know, because I mean, all I know is that whenever there's something that I don't know how to do and somebody else is really good at it, like Iaido and our sensei, it's just like, whatever that guy's doing, like in my mind, and I've been like this since I was a kid, I don't know what I'm doing, that guy knows what he's doing, I'm listening to him, or her, or whoever,
Right.
and whatever it is. Same thing with Kenny Sensei, and it's like so simple to me. Show up on time, so you show up on time. Do this, do that. It's just like endless grinding, like repetitive things, but that's how you get good at anything. And same thing with Gerry. I don't know how to carve poles. Gerry does. He's been doing it for 30 years. So what do I do? What do? You shut your mouth and you listen to the guy that knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
And you sweep the floors.
Yes.
And all you got to do, it's amazing that people take that personally when they get told what to do. Tell me what to do. You have to be told what to do. It's okay. It's okay to subjugate yourself and just be an apprentice. That's all you got to do. And I don't have a sensei to sword make to make katanas or knives or anything. So I have to do it myself and then just learn through mistakes. But I know I read once or I saw it online that first year apprentices for if you want to make katanas in Japan, those sword makers make you make coal for 1 year because they want to see if you're committed. You can't do anything. You're not picking up a hammer. You're not doing anything. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna sit here, watch what I do, and you're gonna make coal for my forge for 1 year because they want to see your level of commitment. And it's no different with Gerry and making. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll do whatever. Just sweep the floors and just chop away and make sure that I do exactly. And the thing about, to me anyway, is about doing exactly what your sensei or if you're doing an apprenticeship program with a carver. If you do exactly what they say, if it messes up, it's his fault. It's their fault. It's not yours. It's like I was just doing what you told me to do.
Yeah, I fully understand.
So that's another reason why you should listen. Don't go off on your own and think you can do. I would never, like Gerry's artwork is so kick-ass. I would never think of going off on, or if I was apprenticing for anybody, I would never think of going off on my own outside of what they told me to do. Because it's not, that's not your job as an apprentice. You're like I said, you're just supposed to listen and do what they tell you to do. And then because if and the reason being is if you pay, like who was it? Was it Rod Stewart? Somebody, a lot of people have said this, but if you surround yourself with good people, that's the key. If you're a kid, if you're a teenager, if you want to do this, that, or the other thing, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, whatever profession it is, just make sure that you're surrounded by good people, because when you're done, and you listen to them, you'll be as good.
Absolutely. We have a saying in German, tell me who your friends are and I tell you who you are. So that's exactly the case. The people you surround yourself with in many ways shape you, influence you, and that's a really important part. And that's what I like about Friends United. You are living here most of the time. Gerry is and others. Your story is truly inspiring children every day and teenagers. And they need so much inspiration these days because it's such a crazy world out there. I know the other day you went to university and you talked to some business students. I'm sure it must have been very interesting and rewarding for them to listen to your story, how you grew up as a teenager, child had a really, really rough life. We spoke about this last time in the other conversation on camera, and how then you make all these incredible good decisions in your life. I mean, sure, some didn't work out right away, but we all had it. We live and learn.
Yeah.
And then you come up with all these interesting things you do. Again, the acting is one thing. We just spoke a few minutes ago about The Last of Mohicans. 30-some years ago, you played in that.
Yeah.
And how that started your career as an actor. And you share all those really interesting stories. And then you go from there, where you lived on the streets for a while and you helped kids and you had a rough life because you had such a rough upbringing. Then you pulled yourself out of that. Then you got more into script writing, acting again, making masks. The story of your life gives incredible hope. And I didn't know this. You can on Facebook and on YouTube, I guess, put comments underneath certain videos. And I read what people talked about, or what they said, the comments after our last interview. It was truly inspiring. And that tells me, again, you give hope, and that's always what I'm hoping we can do at Friends United. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being part of what we do. Thank you for inspiring kids. You started doing the totem pole with Gerry, and I know you just were the apprentice and you started. And Gerry, of course, is in Vancouver right now, so he couldn't be here last few days. But we brought it in together. I drove the tractor and you helped me guide it in, and then there was 10, 15 of us. The totem pole is sitting here now.
Yeah.
Are you happy with what you see there, and are you going to do any more totem poles with Gerry, you think?
Yes, because that's another thing. If you're, I don't care what sort of medium, if you're carving, especially around these West Coast guys like Gerry, eventually you're gonna, you always see them doing that. I've been to pole raisings before, and they're amazing. And so that's sort of like, if there's somebody around and that's willing to teach you that, and you're carving masks, or you're doing whatever. I don't care if you're carving soup ladles or bowls. You should take advantage of it. So this guy is living 200 yards from me. I'm taking advantage of it. Like the next pole that he carves, I'm gonna be there because I want to see. I had to take off and do that media camp. That's why I could only help him so much with the Wolf Mother totem pole. So this next one, I'll be able to be more involved in it when he gets back from BC. It's going to be a really cool experience, I think.
I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be filming it, the progress. I think we did it for the Wolf.
Yeah.
But then the next two ones, same thing. And again, thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
All right, man.
Right on, brother.
We are Friends United.
We are Friends United.
We are Friends United.
Together, we are Friends United.